In 1965, Jim Henson produced, wrote, directed, and starred in an experimental short film, Timepiece. Created at the beginning of the phenomenon that would become The Muppets, Timepiece follows an unnamed man through a series of surrealist adventures as the ticking sound of a clock emphasizes the unyielding passing of time. It quickly became a hit at film festivals, and was even nominated for an Academy Award.
Help.
In 1969, Henson delved into the avant-garde with The Cube, an hour-long drama produced for the NBC anthology series Experiment in Television. The story follows yet another unnamed man who is imprisoned in a cube, confused and frightened as an array of characters make their way in and out of the cube, providing a commentary on the human condition, life, death, and creating general absurdity.
Don't you see, this is all a joke, a gag!
Two main aspects of these scripts, the silent storytelling of Timepiece and the absurdist characters and sight gags of The Cube, were both utilized for another script Henson was working on, A Tale of Sand. Conceived as early as the 1950s, Henson wrote the script throughout much of the 60s and 70s with his Cube co-writer Jerry Jewell. In the late 60s, he began attempting to find financing for the script. Unfortunately, the scope of the project was considered overwhelming by the standards of the day, and they were unable to find a financier. Distracted by their work on the now blossoming success of a little show called Sesame Street, Henson and Jewell wouldn't be able to attempt to find financing for the script again until 1974. However, even with the numerous adjustments made to the script, it was still considered an overwhelming project that no one was willing to back. A Tale of Sand fell on the back burner, as Henson turned to focus on his next project, which would become The Muppet Show. With the overwhelming successes of Sesame Street and The Muppets, the script would never be successfully produced as a film. Jim Henson passed away in 1990, and A Tale of Sand would vanish into obscurity as his lost work. In 2009, the Jim Henson Company, now run by Jim's daughter Lisa, signed a deal with Archaia Studios Press to release comics based on a number of Henson properties. Though the rights to the Muppets were sold to Disney in 2004, the company still had the rights to popular projects such as Fraggle Rock, The Dark Crystal, and Labyrinth. Most notably, however, was the decision to finally release A Tale of Sand, allowing the once-lost script to finally be realized as a graphic novel. In 2011, 44 years after first being written, A Tale of Sand finally debuted as a free comic book day preview, before eventually receiving a full release in 2012. The story is difficult to describe. We follow Mac, who is unnamed in all but the source material, as he approaches a town where his arrival is celebrated. Mac is given a map, which he is told that he'll be fine if he follows, and a bag of supplies, which contains a series of sight gags, and is then sent off on a desert trek with a final piece of advice. Don't trust the map. What follows is a series of absurdist adventures. The map is less than helpful, the items in the bag are bizarre and seem to serve no obvious purpose, and it's not helping that the townspeople are chasing and attempting to kill him, led by a mysterious man with an eye patch. The scope and scale of the project is overwhelming. One can immediately see why financing was impossible to find for it, especially given that the nature of the film means that public reception would be difficult to gauge. Hollywood may have balked at the prospect of adapting A Tale of Sand, but Archaia managed to find a creative team who wasn't afraid of the daunting task. Ramon K. Perez, who also did the interior art for last year's Captain America and the First 13, brings a unique visual style to the work that highlights the absurdity of the source material without feeling too cartoony or over the top. Much as the film version would have played with the audience's minds, Perez does so in print by using unique panel layouts which convey the emotion and action of the story, as well as ever so slightly tweaking the art style when so needed. The absence of dialogue doesn't hinder the story in the slightest, thanks to these captivating visuals, aided by exquisite coloring from Perez and co-colorist Ian Herring, which varies from simple and efficient to flat-out gorgeous and eye-popping. A skittish Hollywood may have kept Jim Henson from being able to see his project realized in his lifetime, but the quality of this story shines through, revealing a labor of love with all the wit and style you've come to expect from his work. Thanks to a stellar creative team and a simply gorgeous release from Archaia, A Tale of Sand has finally come out of the Henson Company vaults and earned its place. No longer a lost script, and now ready to be a cherished member of any Jim Henson fan's collection.